want to say more than Jaden, but like obviously I think Jaden is the one that definitely has used it the most and has kind of brought it into the limelight more so than a lot of other players. But again, like Wumbo is very comfortable with the typical 4-wide build. I feel like Wumbo could very well get a lot of extra momentum if they're able to get the timing down on some of those decision-making plays just right. But then again, if you have the great fundies like Wumbo, sometimes it might not even matter. Just hit them with the 1-2 good fundies and move on to the next round.
Fundies is such a that's such a fun term. I mean, you can't spell fundies without fun. Like I get it, but like it's such a silly term.
It might be a personal hot take. I feel like if you were to consider which Tetris player has good fundies, I think Wumbo is one of the best out there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. No, I agree with your assessment there. Like I think. Star.
I need to skim somewhere.
Star Monka S.
We do. Oh, opens the well.
Oh my goodness! What is that? That's an impressive finish right there.
And nearly
good IRS.
Wumbo immediately with a hefty spike. Causes that.
Unfortunately, that is also like a perfect left side well for Wumbo. So that's like a good counterattack at the ready. Star once again at the top of the board.
And this is a strictly offensive zone from Wumbo. We have T-piece looking for a donation, spends 2 T-pieces to get the clean solve on top. Close to an all, kind of. I mean, it's still 45, and that's a lot of damage right now. It's not phase 3 though. If Star's able to accept garbage before the rings.
I think this might kick it over. This could kick it over. I don't think
now it is. Oh. But we do get the ulti, and that's a lot of garbage to Wumbo.
Yeah, but Wumbo has to accept a lot there. That's some down stacking he's got to do.
Misread piece. This could be a game for Star. Star needs to keep this offensive pressure up immediately before Wumbo finds it out.
The thing is, I saw what Wumbo did there. I knew exactly what went wrong. Oh, that is unfortunate.
And you can see, again, Wumbo, one of the best at playing defense, knows exactly where for the best efficiency at using those defensive zones, but continuously relying on these quarter zones right now. Star has a beautiful center well that they're able to do a little bit of rent gaming with on their own. And this is a really hefty... Oh, it's a tough spot right now for Wumbo to be in.
Yeah, that is a nigh endless queue coming from Star, keeping that pressure up. Ooh, those spins. Good find from Wumbo. Gonna be using this zone. Okay, this is a good zone.
The 9 combo, that's gonna be a really efficient down stack.
And look at that, Star has some garbage to deal with now. Has to start his own zone here.
But this is a full zone meter. Wumbo needs to get as much zone meter as possible and fight off this entire attack. Fights off about half of it, accepts 10 or so lines, tries to zone through the rest of it, and is alive for the time being. And a misdrop from Star, I think, will give Wumbo an out in this situation.
Yeah, Star is now playing on the back foot here. This board state's not looking too great. But Wumbo...
Downstack continues through zone. Look at this opportunity for the combo from Star. That's a lot of damage, and the advantage is right back in Star's favor.
Yeah, the advantage is switching back and forth violently right now.
Oh,
but Star kind of keeping up this pressure. Is it going to be enough? Ooh, bit of a misdrop, I think, on Wumbo's board. That could... Oh, that is it. That is it.
Game 1 to KallMeSt4r over Wumbotize. In impressive fashion, Star playing at near peak that we've seen from earlier in the Matrix. But again, these sets are first to 5 and doesn't even guarantee a spot in winners, but would be tremendously helpful going to our top 12. But we do have a little bit of a back issue for Star. Gonna need to rely on some exact pieces, and Wumbo's gonna rely on that early pressure. Knows that Star does not have a lot of options and sending off quite a bit of garbage early. Oh, and defensive zone from Wumbo for phase 1. A very interesting choice.
Yeah, I think Wumbo... I want to say that Wumbo's, like, confident in the amount of damage he'll be able to deal with this. Yeah, 57 ulti.
And not a lot of T-pieces in sight. Star gonna have to make some compromises on this stack.
Oh, oh. I really trying. Could have gotten a curb there, I think. I don't know if the IRS worked, though. Would have worked, though. So.
All right, and very solid donation play there as well from Star. We do have a misdrop tech piece over on that right-hand side.
It's
sooner.
Yeah, it was really high up, though, so it wasn't too big of an issue. Now it's gonna be...
Again, misdrops you have to deal with sooner rather than later. It's always better to find, even if it's a little bit of a setback at first, whatever gets through the misdrop in as few pieces as possible to get right back to the action. A 53 ulti from Wumbo and still stacking clean through to phase 3. Star is going to need some real impressive power from this zone. 47 is going to be enough to stay alive, but going to be pretty heftily sit in the defensive spot.
Ooh, alright.
Oh, misdrop die. Second one is there for the bailout, but it might not be there in time for the second one.
Yeah, this is looking a bit awkward for Star, but uses a zone, starting to sort things out a little bit.
Yeah, Star is having to slow down to make some of these greedy plays, but again, the slower that Star is going to have to play, the more Wumbo can rely on speed advantage to solidify game 2. Oh, and Star going for the efficiency on a zone really high up. It might not be the greatest. Oh, but we do have a stack.
Ooh, look, and Wumbo kind of upstacking, trying to get that T-piece out of the way. Up to 19, 58 attack.
Oh, Star only has a quarter zone, and that's not going to put nearly as enough of it into that zone attack as Star is looking for. Able to get
here's another one. Is Star going to be able to get any lines off of that? Get the Tetris.
Oh, not after
blocks off the only hole in the stack ready for, you know, that down stack. That's going to top him out. Wumbo's going to tie this up 1-1.
You can see right there the 275 zone attack per minute from game 2. Again, if you let Wumbo go unchecked, it is going to be an absolute beast of a monster to take down, especially for someone of Star's typical, like, working through speed disadvantage. At some point, it gets very, very difficult to play through it, and the sheer raw power of APM from Wumbo is going to be a really tough obstacle for Star to tackle.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, sacrificing a little bit of an early T-piece, but Star looking to continue stacking clean.
Yeah, up to 10. So far, so good.
1. 58 ulti from Wumbo, though. We're going to need a really nice Star, and I think that might be what we get.
Ooh, 46. Had a bit of an awkward end there. We're gonna have to see what Star can do outside of zone in order to sort this out, but finds a little bit of an exit here.
Oh, really nice T-spin triple kick for the double.
Yep.
You have an eye dependency for Star. And not the greatest of stacks. Wumbo able to get a really nice T-spin double in the process of that down, and donates on top of it to stay clean.
I'm sorry.
Tied on top.
Start with a weird eye spin triple? Was that what I saw?
Someone's been reviving a little bit too much in some block stacker, so I've heard.
A modern yet familiar one I've seen.
All right, right now 12 lines for Star. Wumbo has already kicked it into phase 3 and then some. Star looking to see if there can be a curb solve. Just looking for that extra added bit of oomph from the curb tris. Unfortunately, is not going to be there. And so once again, going to be put in the defensive seat, and needs to find a really strong down stack in order to bring things back to neutral. And
ooh,
this is
situation's looking a bit dire for Star. It's going to be too much. Wumbo really doing a great job at putting some pressure on Star there.
Yeah, keeping that APM as high as possible, keeping the garbage as low as possible, having that full board to work with. Again, Star is going to need a really big 1-2 punch against Wumbo in order to shake up that kind of just like unbreakable momentum that we usually see from them time and time again. Star's relying on an eyepiece.
Maybe a little bit too much, but here we go. Has access to that left side well now.
Yep, Kaiden into the Tetris. But Wumbo right now has the center well of garbage, and it's perfectly for a 3-6 stack. We're going to be seeing some pretty efficient T-spins here from Wumbotize. Only skims once. We're still nothing but T-spins and Tetrises. Looking to get even more on top of it. I think it's going to be a 20 for a 65 Ultimatris. Star needs to match that at efficiency. What is going to be...
I mean, so far so good, honestly. There's a lot of good plays that Star pulled off in this zone.
Well, it's
53 though. It's
behind in pace.
Behind in pace. Things are looking a bit scary up at the top here, but has that eyepiece just in time. Going to be able to get through this.
Just barely, but again, like, even with the clean garbage, Wumbo and Star is just a little bit behind in zone meter, and Wumbo has the say in when we arrive at phase 3. Alright, Wumbo going for a zone, going to be using the Swag Tower against Star, a known avid lover of the Swag Tower, and going to be doing
into a 4-wide here.
Eyes.
I mean...
That's going to be 56, but Star might be able to find a really good solve. 47.
Oh, it's still not going to be enough. Has to accept a lot of garbage. And Wumbo, you know,
this is what
there's a reason why it's there's a reason why it's called the side ties, you know?
Again, if you leave Wumbo unchecked, or you're not able to send garbage
look at
to your opponents.
Relentless pressure in phase 3. Oh, he's going to keep going. He has another one at the ready. He's got it locked and loaded. Gonna keep doing it.
Broke, don't bother fixing it. And Wumbo gonna use a little bit. That's a half zone to get as much out of that combo well as possible. 47 straight back to Star as soon as the garbage got cleared. Over 2 full matrices worth. Wumbo back at it with another side 4-wide, and Star's options are dwindling and time is running out.
Star not able to keep. Star has to do a lot more to break through this pressure that Wumbo's been applying, but unfortunately just does not have the room for it. Wumbo being ruthless. That's why we call it the side ties, people.
Again, we mentioned it before. Wumbo knows how to build the 4-wide combo wells when they're there, and if able to use it in phase 3, it can be a very powerful tool and a very deadly tool in the viewpoint of a very unfortunate opponent.
Yeah. Looks like both players are now going for the 6-3 stack.
Yeah,
Star kind of... Oh, Star waiting.
Star is a very big fan of waiting, especially whenever those eyepieces are in queue, just keeping that 6-3 stack as long as possible and making sure it's got nothing but Tetrises and T-spins for days on end. And
yeah, I'm going to be entering zone
right
here.
For Wumbo. Has to burn an eyepiece in the process.
I do like where this zone is going for Star.
Is this still clean from Star? Up to 16?
Yes. Yeah, no, it has not broken back-to-back yet.
Oh boy.
Oh, gets the ulti. That's a nice 61 attack. That is a huge spike incoming. Wumbo had to gauge. Yeah, Wumbo had to gauge whether or not he was going to take that, and I think the answer was just a straight no.
And notice again, like, even though Wumbo's able to... Star is using the opportunity to upstack, which usually isn't the most common that we see in terms of advantage state, but Star knows that they need these electrifying plays in order to solidify a round off of Wumbo. Debates on the 4-wide, but decides against it.
Star's not going to stoop down to that level, it seems.
I wouldn't call it stooping down to that level. Again, it's an strategy. You might as well use it.
Yeah.
It's again, you have to use all of the cards that are dealt to you. And if that is the best case scenario, if you got an ulti that's a 68 in the cards that leads directly into a side 4-wide, you might as well go for it.
Yeah, Wumbo's gonna get started on this fairly early in comparison to last round, but I mean, we saw how effective it was last round.
Well, so Star's gonna need a big combo, and I don't think it's there in time.
Oh, things are looking, dare I say, mighty precarious for Star, and that's not gonna be enough.
And now 4 straight from Wumbo. The attacks per minute is matching Star's speed. Star gonna need to shift it into 5th gear in order to solidify another win. This is match point right now for Wumbo.
Yeah.
Already a little bit of early misdrops there from Star. You have the clean donation to fix it. And, oh my goodness, look at this cheese board from Star. What in the world? What is that, 3?
Jeez, that is
garbage well.
That is brutal. This is phase 1. Give the man a break.
Now, Star does not need the RNG to not... Oh, and Wumbo going to be using that IRS beautifully. The 66 Ultimatress saying, if you are looking for efficiency, look no further. Star going to desperately need something for this zone. Able to get the 20 with him on 21. 66 ulti to match.
Very good. Yeah, very good attack there from Star. That's the kind of thing we need to keep seeing. Well, we're gonna have to see how phase 3 treats him, because that's where Wumbo starts putting in a lot of that 4-wide pressure, and that's when it starts to get really, really effective.
Well, Star misdropping the eyepiece, and you can see the pause as well. Star expected that line clear delay to come in handy, and it unfortunately is nowhere to be seen. However, it is still phase 2, maybe able to build up that zone meter a little bit faster than usual. Able to get at least a half meter, and we can see
and look at that.
4 wide.
Both players now doing a
attack.
We're going to be seeing a fight of Ren, it seems.
Oh, it's going to probably neutralize in this case. All right, and Star, 3/4 of zone meter to work with. Wumbo has a side well built, but no zone to their name.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot that Wumbo has to do in order... Yeah, Wumbo just has to keep down stacking in order to build this zone. Star has a full zone charge at the ready. But that's going to be really helpful for a particularly bad situation, because...
So keep in mind, like, Star has not been playing offense despite being an advantage, and Wumbo's been using that to their advantage, knowing that they have a very solid ability to downstack through even the cheesiest of board states. 1435 from Star, but Wumbo is still building clean through the phase 3. 49 from their 15 lines. Sends Star right back up to the top of the board, but there is no advantage. Star is going to have to counter this on raw APM alone.
Yeah, and the pieces are not looking too kind for Star here. Has some good pieces, but is Wumbo's pressure going to, like, keep up? Yeah, oh, that's going to be it. Star putting up a real good fight there against Wumbo, but Wumbo is going to take it and move on the Gauntlet.